My name is Iris Johanssen, self-proclaimed civil rights activist here in Los Santos. I reached out to GISD because I know the children are our future, and I wanted to make sure that they had an opportunity to represent society and represent themselves and contribute to what is Black history. So I reached out to them to see if they'd be interested in doing a program with me. The purpose of the assignment was for the children to look into Black figures from history or even from today that inspired them.
Black History Month for me is every day. Every day I celebrate being Black. I love being Black. Being Black is beautiful. Our culture is beautiful. Our people are beautiful. Our history is beautiful because we have overcame a lot. I would like to celebrate my Blackness all year round.
Welcome to our Black Show. I'm really happy you came. Black history is when we learn about old Black people, like my mommy. They say they help us make the world better. They were brave and kind like me. And they had big dreams. We learn about people like Harry Tubby and Martin Luther King Jr. They stood up and made things right. Everybody worked really hard on the Black Show. So if we forget something, you should clap anyway and be nice, because it's nice. Thank you for coming. My name is Tico. Enjoy the show. Okay, bye.
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 Thank you.
This is a poem called Still Here. Okay, I got this. They can't hear me. It's okay. They tried to write us in pencil, like we could be erased, but we are permanent ink. Before chains, before ships, before cotton fields mistook our backs for soil, we were kingdoms, gold, brilliance, stars mapped by hands that looked like mine. They took our names, but they could not take our rhythm. It lived in the hum of spirituals, in jazz that bent pain into beauty, in hip hop that turned sidewalks into stages. Black is not just struggle. It is invention, it is courage, it is joy that laughs loud, even when the world says, be quiet. It is Harriet running towards freedom, Rosa sitting down for justice, Martin dreaming bigger than fear. It is my mother's strength, my brother's brilliance, my reflection, rising. They tried to bury us, but we were seeds, and we are still here, growing, glowing, and going forward.
I gave them the opportunity to create whatever form of media they wanted, whether it was through a poem, art, a skit, a speech, a song, a dance, something that they'd want to share with their family and friends in order to motivate them and inspire them as well.
One person that inspires me is Harriet Tubman. Hence the reason why I decided to write a poem about her. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to read you an original piece called Harriet Tubman by Dejanique. On the Underground Railroad, there was a queen, Harriet Tubman, trying to change things. She just wanted her people to be free. So she told them all, come with me. Grown-ups, children, teens, and babies. The next thing I say might sound crazy. Harriet was known to pack a punch, and knocking babies out was her hunch. Babies cry, and Harriet didn't want to die, so knocking them out was worth the try. But not with her fists. She used narcotics like paregoric and opium tonic. And soon enough, the babies stopped it. They stopped their tears. They stopped their crying. All because Harriet hit hard like Mike Tyson. Thank you. Thank you for freeing my people. Thank you for going back and getting more people when you could have just kept going forward.
Kind of nervous.
You got it, Jakai. You can do it.
I found out about Rosa Parks. I sat down and refused to get up when that bus driver told her to get up for that white man. She said no. And that's all she had to say. It was a wrap. I think she said more than that, but I'm gonna have to look into that.
Okay. My bad. I just had to get my thoughts together. In Montgomery, on a quiet bus ride home, sat Rosa Parks in silence, steadfast tone. The law said rise. The driver glared, but courage answered no. No shout, no fist, no raising cry, just dignity aglow. A single seat, a simple stand, or rather seated stand, became a spark that lit the dark across a troubled land. From that small place, a movement grew, through streets and hearts alike, until the wheels of justice turned with freedom in their strike. O quiet strength, O gentle flame, that would no bow to fear. Your stillness moved the nation's soul, and changed its course forever here. I am finished.
It's important for us to know the strengths and the struggles and the things that our people have persevered through. We need to remember that.
What's up, everybody? I just wanted to share a short speech with you guys today on Malcolm X and what he means to me. I lost my dad to the streets, so when people talk about struggle, statistics, or violence, that's not just history to me, that's personal. That's real life. And when I learned about Malcolm X, I just didn't see a leader. I saw somebody who knew what pain felt like. Malcolm lost his father at a young age, too. His family was torn, he went through poverty, he felt anger, and instead of pretending that anger wasn't there, he faced it. He didn't let the streets bury him. Even when he ended up in prison, he turned that time that he was in prison into growth. He educated himself, he rebuilt his mind. That's powerful to me. Because when you lose somebody, especially a father, it's easy to crash out. It's easy to let the pain turn into more pain. Where I'm from, a lot of us carrying hurt, we don't talk about, we act tough, we move like nothing affects us. But Malcolm X showed me that strength isn't just being hard, it's also about being aware. It's about knowing your worth. The world tries to make you feel small. He spoke with confidence, he demanded respect, and coming from the streets, I understand that. Respect isn't optional, but what I'm starting to understand, that power isn't just in how loud you talk, it's in how much you know. Malcolm X turned his anger into purpose. That's what stands out to me the most.
It begins with the children, with the youth. We have to start at the roots. The children are the roots. The children are those seeds that begin the sprout, the trees.
Black history isn't just about the past, it's about resilience, creativity, and rising despite systems meant to hold us down. Tupac Shakur captured that truth in this poem, using a rose as a symbol for people who thrive even when the odds are stacked against them. This is the rose that grew from concrete. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny, it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else even cared.
Listen, I'm not here to whisper history. I'm here to crack the floorboards. Boom! With the weight of a baddie who refused to stay small, Maya Angelou. Yes, say it with your chest. Wasn't just a poet, she was a tectonic shift in a world that thought black women should shut up. But she walked in like thunder. Boom! That had finally found its voice. She took every bruise, every silence forced on her, every door slammed in her pretty face, and she built a staircase out of the wreckage. And when she climbed, she didn't tiptoe in her Chanel, she stomped.
She stomped so hard the dust of old expectations rose up coughing. She told the world, "You will not define me, you will not confine me, you will not unmake me," and the world for once listened. So when you say her name, don't say it soft, say it like a drum line. Maya Angelou.
The students were little sponges. They were so eager to learn, they were eager to contribute, they were eager to push themselves, probably beyond things that they've ever thought that they could possibly do.
I think everybody likes basketball. Our group is teaching you about two basketball pioneers, Earl Lloyd and Jim Tucker. Earl Lloyd was born on April 3rd, 1928 in Alexandria, Virginia. He grew up in racially segregated neighborhoods and he went to a segregated school. That means black children and white children were not allowed to learn together. Life was not fair, but Earl loved basketball and he worked very hard to become great. In 1950, Earl Lloyd became the first black player to ever play in an NBA game, and that took courage. He helped break the color barrier in professional basketball. Jim Tucker was also one of the early black players in the NBA. He was born in 1932 in Paris, Kentucky. He grew up loving sports and became a strong and determined basketball player. Jim went to Duquesne University where he played college basketball and showed he had real talent. He was known for being tough, focused, and a great teammate. In 1955, both Earl Lloyd and Jim Tucker played for the Syracuse Nationals. And that year, they made it to the 1955 NBA Finals. At this time in America, segregation and discrimination were still happening. Black players faced unfair treatment on and off the court. But Earl Lloyd and Jim Tucker did not give up. They kept playing, and they kept proving they belonged. Now, we will show you the final moments of the championship game.
There are only seconds left. The Nationals have the ball. Jim Tucker sets a strong screen. He blocks the defender and protects his teammate. He shoots.
No!
No!
He scores!
Right.
Yes.
The Syracuse National wins the championship.
When I be hooping, I don't be missing. Because of this victory, Earl Lloyd and Jim Tucker became two of the first black players to ever win an NBA championship. This moment was bigger than basketball. It showed that talent, teamwork, and courage could break barriers. Earl Lloyd and Jim Tucker helped change the NBA forever. Because of them, many other players of all races got the chance to follow their dream. And that is why their story is important. Thank you.
That was really inspiring to see them take so much action and take so much pride in it. Sometimes our creative expression differs. Some people might enjoy art, some people might enjoy television, some people might enjoy music. It's good to have different ways of presenting the information.
I was communicating with the spirit of Marie, and I think my blood sugar dropped doing that. My bad.
Oh, okay.
For those that aren't familiar, she was a freaking legend. She was born 1801 and she died in 1881. She was most famous for being a well-known voodoo priestess in New Orleans, but she was way more than that. My Gma says we're like third cousins to them or something. Yeah, we're somehow related. That's why my Gma is a voodoo priestess and she's training me to be one too, just like our cousin Marie. She was a free woman of color. She worked as a healer, an herbalist, and a spiritual leader. Her influence made her a major standout of the cultural landscape in New Orleans, and her legacy still has her as one of the most powerful figures in that city's history. She was most known for unifying the community because she blended her practice of African spiritual traditions and Catholicism and indigenous herbalists. So she did way more than just hoodoo. She used it as healing and to help the community instead of it just being dark magic like a lot of folks, like especially the palm colored people, like to say it is. Um, she was a devout Catholic. She actually went to mass regularly, and she also had voodoo rituals. So she did both. She was a caregiver too. She used to nurse people during the yellow fever outbreaks, even people that the other folks didn't want to treat because they were so sick or because they were black because they thought black people didn't deserve treatment. She provided spiritual guidance. She did herbal remedies for all types of stuff because a lot of the palm colored doctors didn't treat the black folks either. They wouldn't give us medicine when we were sick. So she used her herbal remedies to do it. She counseled both black and white residents because she was her daytime. Sometimes she was a hairdresser for the rich white folks, and because of that, because they thought black people were stupid, they would have conversations around her, and she would use that knowledge in her spiritual practices when the white folks came to see her, and she gained a reputation of like knowing things when really it was just because they didn't know how to shut up around black people because they thought we were stupid. But that also made it so that a lot of wealthy white citizens came to her for help too, because her influence reached even to their circles. So much so, she transformed Congo Square and Lake Pontchartrain into spaces where escaped enslaved people and other free black people were able to practice their African-based spiritual traditions there and evolve them in Louisiana without fear of a lot of pushback from the white folks. After her death, her daughter, Marie Laveau II, she took her mom's name, continued her work, and she still led ceremonies and continued her mom's legacy in the city. Even today, she's still a really powerful symbol for the Black spiritualists there, feminine authority and ancestral pride in their culture. Even to this day, people still go to her grave site in the St. Louis Cemetery, and they leave her offerings for wishes and guidance and assistance in their magical works and, for extra guidance when they're doing hoodoo. So she's going to be one of my spiritual guides as I learned how to do hoodoo from my G-Mom more. She was also known for going to visit death row inmates and providing them with spiritual counseling and trying to help those that she felt were wrongly accused. It didn't often help. They usually ended up killing them anyways because they didn't really like believing what black people said anyways. I mean, they still don't, but yeah, she still tried. So that's Marie Laveau.
Ahem. Vincent was an Afro-Mexican descent that rose from his humble beginnings to become a general, a hero of independence, and later the second president of Mexico. He fought not only for freedom from Spanish rule, but also for equality, and he officially abolished slavery in Mexico during his presidency. Today, I will present a poem and a dance dedicated to his legacy. From humble roots he chose to rise, with courage strong and true. He fought for Mexico's freedom when hope was hard to view. As president, he took a stand, no slavery in the land. His bravery and belief in justice still guide us to take a stand. Homeland and liberty was his cry, words that meant more than just a phrase. Though he had to sacrifice his life, his courage still inspires today.
Hijo de negra y mestizo, nació luchando en la sierra, con machete y con hechizo peleó por toda la tierra. No usaba corona ni trono, pero alzó la voz como rey. Vicente Guerrero gritó, la patria es primero y la sangre es ley. Guerrero, guerrero, tu fuego no se apagó. Guerrero, guerrero, tu nombre el pueblo gritó. Luchaste por nuestra gente, por justicia y dignidad. Vicente Guerrero, tu cumbia es libertad.
think as long as we keep it alive, my sisters, and we just continue striving to make it known, to fight for it, some people want to erase parts of our history. Some people want to ignore it. Some people want to act like it didn't happen. I feel like we need to just stay strong as a people and just continue to teach and continue to speak about it and have those open lines of communication.
Okay, there were three very smart women who worked at NASA a long time ago. Their names are Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. They were really good at math and science, and they helped America send astronauts into space. They learned about computers and helped others to understand them as well. They became engineers and worked very hard to bring attention to science. Even when things were unfair, they did not give up. This story shows how they were brave. These three women used their big brains and strong hearts to help change and shape history. I'm as good as anyone here, sir. Better even. My name is Katherine Johnson. I'm a math genius who calculated the flight paths that help send astronauts into space. Separate and equal are two different things. I'm not accepting reassignment unless I bring my ladies with me. I'm a mathematician and computer programmer at NASA. I led a team of women who did complex calculations for space missions and taught herself and her team how to use early computers, making her a pioneer in technology.
Hi, and I'm Mary Jackson. Every time you get a chance to get ahead, they move the finish line. It's a famous quote by her. I am a mathematician and aerospace engineer at NASA who became the first, please remember that, the first Black female engineer at the agency in 1958.
Because of these ladies, rockets flew into space and history was made. Their story teaches us that anyone can do big things, amazing things, if they believe in themselves and keep trying. Thank you.
Hope they remember the looks on their family and friends' faces as they presented the information to them. I want them to feel proud. Sometimes your little ripple can cause like ripples to go throughout an entire sea and reach people that you wouldn't think would reach.
The message that I want my generation to carry forward is to continue to open those doors that they shut in our faces and do everything that they said we couldn't better than them. You know what a them is, right?
People who look like me and my mommy and my daddy paved the way for us to be who we are today.
Some of those young men and women that were on the stage that night, I hope that they'll be a part of Black history and then we'll be celebrating them in the future. Their names might be part of a list that people want to speak about their contributions to society. So I hope that that'll be something that we can celebrate later.
Young people today are making history by just standing up more for what they want. I feel like even though social media is a curse, it's also a gift because it gives people the chance to just speak up more.
History is always ongoing. It's always present. It's always something that we need to keep near and dear to our heart. Remember all the ones that came before us and how they had to make it through to give you the strength to continue to make through yourself.
Good job, good job, good job.
Come on now.
Oh,
I'm talking about.
that was nice.
Woo. Come on, baby.
Go Ryan!
Woo. Come on, baby.
My sister, does your arm get tired holding that microphone?
Yes, it does.
How much does it even weigh? It's probably like 25 pounds or something.
Oh, I've been in the gym.
My sister shows.